Misremembering is something I'm no stranger to. It happens to all of us. Maybe you mix up the details of a movie or swear you put your keys somewhere only to find them across the room. But what happens when it's not just you? What happens when thousands of people all remember the exact same thing wrong? Hey there, listeners, and welcome back to Fear and Flame Podcast. I'm Brooklyn.
I'm Mason.
What?
And today we're talking about the Mandela Effect. So, strike a match, light a candle, and settle in. This one is sure to ignite some fear.
You know, which I'm too much on the internet now, because anytime we say Mandela Mandela Effect, I just think of the Mandela Catalog every time.
I do too.
And I almost forget about what that actually means, but...
Do you guys know the origin story of the Mandela Effect?
I know like some of the main ones. I remember there was like a guy that they thought died in jail. Is that the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go into the origin story. The term Mandela Effect was coined in 2009 by a paranormal researcher named Fiona Broome. While at a convention, she was talking to others about past world events and things that had happened. During this conversation, Nelson Mandela was mentioned, who Fiona vividly remembered dying in prison in the 1980s. She recalled watching news coverages on his death with riots and mourning across South Africa. She even said that she had seen footage of his widow making a speech at his memorial. At first embarrassed by misremembering, Fiona found that dozens of people at the conference had the exact same memories as her. But Nelson Mandela actually did not die until 2013. So, why did so many people swear up and down that they believed he had already been gone? Some stated that it could be possible they mistaken him for another South African man who died in prison in 1977. However, they argued the memories were too specific. After this, the Mandela Effect became a worldwide phenomenon, people believing that it could be evidence of alternate realities. Since then, many examples of the Mandela Effect have been discussed.
You know, there's been like multiple people that I've sat there and thought, that guy should probably be dead. And then I Googled it.
He's alive.
Yeah, like R.L. Stein, for like the longest time, I thought that dude died in like 2000 something. That brother's,
Really?
he's still kicking.
Yeah, for some reason, I thought Chuck Norris was dead until like a year ago.
Right? It's a couple people like that I'm sitting there thinking that like, yeah they should probably, like it just makes sense to me that they've kicked the bucket.
Yeah.
And you Google it and they're like, yeah, he's living happily in like San Jose. And
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah, I went forever thinking, I don't know if I'd heard something about it somewhere or what, but I could have swore I'd heard that Chuck Norris was dead years and years ago. Then I seen a YouTube ad. He was
that he's
advertising promoting something.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? Did they AI him? No.
There's
He's
so
alive.
many dudes. Well, who was it? I can't believe that, I don't even know. There was some other old guy that, like, swear to God, I was like, he's got to be dead.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's no way. And then there at the same time, there's a couple people that I still can't believe are dead,
Yeah.
too. Like, I forget that Betty White's, like, not around anymore.
Isn't that so sad?
Because the whole bit's that, like, she's just so old, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, but now that she's, like, she's gone, then it's like,
Sad.
oh, man. But I remember whenever she was alive, and everybody would be like, yeah, man. She was, like, alive before sliced bread. She's
Yeah.
the best thing up until sliced bread. No kidding.
Are there any Mandela effects that you believe in or already know about, like, off the top of your head?
No, I don't. I'm not very keen, or I don't know a bunch about this topic, I guess.
I'm pretty sure Fruit of the Loom had a basket on it. Whatever that little...
The cornucopia?
Yeah.
It did, didn't it? It had
No. That's not what they're saying.
That's a lie.
Yeah, right?
That's a
Right?
bold-faced lie. They had a cornucopia.
Nope.
I promise they did.
No, they didn't.
I guess I believe in one
Yeah,
because
that's-
Fruit of the Loom had a
That's why we're
cornucopia.
having this. That's
that's
why
why
we're
we're
having this
here.
discussion.
I know they had a cornucopia. I seen it when I bought some of their products.
Yep, nope. And then
I saw it on my pack of socks.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
not
wearing
gonna
them.
gaslight me.
And then who was like the dude for the longest time too? And this may just be like a misremembering thing, but I could have sworn the Monopoly man had like a monocle.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Could have sworn. Dude ain't got a monocle. He ain't got nothing. Right.
This is gonna mess Wyatt up so bad.
Yeah.
So part
I
of the
thought he had a
reason,
monocle
Yeah,
too.
Yeah. part of the reason I picked the Mandela Effect is because our last one was like glitches in the Matrix and stuff, and they are
Yeah.
very similar, like they're connected. And your story about the song
Mm-hmm.
that you and Justin, or you and your friend both heard
Yep.
and could never find, could be a Mandela Effect type of thing. There's some stories, usually it's a lot of people, but even they say if just one other person or a couple other people believe it, it can be considered like a Mandela Effect.
Yeah.
So I just have a ton that I went through and put on our thing of Mandela Effects that people believe. And then I have some theories behind what could be the reasoning behind them. So
And
we can go into some of those.
I remember watching a video, I think on the Mandela catalog. This is the first I ever heard of it. And I was like 12. And dude, it psyched me out. Like, I was freaked out. I was like,
Yeah.
there's no way. I was like, because they're getting into like some like, you know, like, yeah, no, that's like whole other universe, multi-dimensional. I was like, oh my God, there's too much.
Literally you're slipping from one
Yeah.
to another, and where something is just completely
Freaked
different.
me out.
Yeah.
I was like, it's the same thing whenever you're like 7 and you watch a documentary on like the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
And
and then you're
it's-
terrified
yes.
for the rest of your life.
I remember-
Why are you researching? Are you researching the cornucopia?
They say they didn't have one in there. I know they had a cornucopia.
They don't have it, man.
They're lying right to the public.
See, man, you believe in one. God, I remember I watched a Bermuda Triangle documentary on my TV in my room when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I had to have my mom go and like turn it off of the TV. I left the room and I went to go find my mom because I was scared to even watch
Yeah.
more of the documentary because they were
You
talking about like
gotta shut it off.
aliens. Yeah, I was like, Mom, could you go turn off my TV, please?
I'm so scared.
I was freaked out, and I need to ask her about it because I've never brought it up, but I do remember one time I was
You
so
haven't seen
psyched
anything
out.
about the Bermuda Triangle.
I
He
don't-
avoids it.
I think
He's
I
so
did. I
scared.
might be, traumatized. If we ever go on a plane and we're going over it, I might start freaking. I don't know. I haven't thought about it much, but God,
Stuff like this is gonna have you messed up now.
exactly,
Too.
dude.
So we'll start going through the list. The first one is the Bernstein Bears. I think you may have seen this or not, but it's the spelling. So a huge number of people believe that the children's book was spelled with an E-I-N at the end. So Bernstein, so E-I-N.
Yeah, that's how I would spell it if you asked me
Yep.
to.
But apparently they've always spelled it with an A-I-N. Bernstein.
And I don't believe it
Bernstein
either.
instead of Bernstein. And this is one that I believe. Because in my mind, I've always, which they say, there's a lot of theories about us just being dumb and we just get things messed up. But why would you ever spell it with an A-I-N?
Because I never pronounced it either as Bernstein.
Yeah,
Or
it's
anything.
always
I
been
always
Bernstein.
Yeah, I'd always say Bernstein.
The Bernstein Bears.
And, because, I mean, but the thing is like, the only reason that I could totally put it as just being dumb is because, like, when I interacted with the Bernstein Bears was when I was, like, 6 years old reading the books,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's the one thing to where it's like, okay, that was a big word for Lil
Yeah.
Mason. He probably wasn't really looking.
Yes. But
And-
the people who were adults at the time believe this too. They're like, no,
That's true.
it's just crazy. Like, I had these books for my kids and it was spelled E-I-N instead of A-I-N. So it's just a little weird. Like, that's the thing that bothers me is it's just like the smallest little difference to where you can be gaslit. Because you can be.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay.
you're not-
It's literally one letter.
Yeah, you're not convinced enough, or you're not convicted in like
Yeah.
the belief that it's like 100% for sure.
Wyatt's gonna hate this.
This is gonna be my favorite episode.
This one is Star Wars.
Okay, I don't know if I've heard about it.
So the most famous movie misquote is that Darth Vader never says, "Luke, I am your father." He says, "No, I am your father."
That one I know he says no, I'm your
Yeah.
father.
Yeah, but everyone always says, "Luke, I am your father," and
Yeah.
I thought that it was Luke, I am your father,
Really?
until I went and looked at it on YouTube, like the clip of the movie to see.
Back in the day, yeah, I remember saying like Luke, I am your father, and
Yeah,
like even
it sounds so right.
But I think that the reason why is because the context of a Luke is necessary if you're quoting it outside of.
Yeah, of Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if you're dressed up in a Darth Vader costume, you could get away with saying no, I'm your father. But if you're just saying it
About the movie or something.
just out whenever.
Yeah, I remember him saying, "No, I am your father," and then Luke's like, "No."
No.
Like it's like the worst thing to ever happen.
Yes.
So the next one is the Monopoly Man. It is his monocle. And many people swear that he had a monocle, but he never did. They say that some suggest the memory is mixed up with Mr. Peanut. Because Mr. Peanut has a monocle.
Yeah.
And so through all of these like social, I don't know, like people see the monocle all the time on different characters and different things. And so people just in their mind's eye make the Monopoly Man have a monocle even though he doesn't. Yeah. But I swear I've seen the Monopoly Man with a monocle. And maybe it's people who have like...
Maybe it's a Chinese rip-off Monopoly game we played. Because I seen the monocle.
Yeah.
And some
Sadly,
people
this
argue
is
if maybe it is like...
The cornucopia is going all over me.
Yes.
This is going to be my favorite one.
And I either him like having it on his...
Yeah,
clothes,
there were like a
not
dangle.
even necessarily on his
well,
eye.
And I need to look at a picture of it, I guess, because I thought that he had a monocle for the longest time, but that's another one of those things to where it's like a black and white drawing.
Yeah.
So I could totally see where I just assumed, and it was just like his eyeball type thing. But, because maybe he had a pocket watch or something too, if you're thinking like he had like a chain or something like that, because that was common, but yeah, I don't know. I thought he had one.
Yep.
But that's another one where I could be like, okay, well, it's a drawing, it's kind of, I played the game as a kid, and I've never really looked deeply into, Monopoly Man's eyes.
Yeah.
For a monocle, but.
Not for a long period of time.
Yeah, he's kind of just in passing, but I thought he had a monocle.
So the next one is Pikachu's tail. This weirded me out.
It's a lightning bolt, ain't it?
It is, yeah.
But a lot of people remember the tip of his tail having black on it.
It's brown, isn't it?
His tail has only ever been yellow with brown at the base. So like towards his like the very
where it
end.
connects.
Yeah. It's only ever been yellow. But I swear I have seen like I think of it with black.
Yeah.
Maybe it's off-branding toys and stuff
And it
that's
really
messing
could
with us.
be.
Maybe I was buying off-brand Fruit of the Loom.
You go to the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
It's
Like Great Value or something.
Yeah. God, the fruit.
I could have
Fruit
swore the end of
Bunches
his
or
tail
something.
did have color, but maybe I thought it was brown on the end, but the brown at the base, maybe that's where I'm confusing it.
And the only reason why I know that it's not me personally is just because I know
Cards.
that the male and female Pikachus have different tail ends. Like a male Pikachu, it's like just a straight lightning bolt, but then at the end of a female Pikachu's, it's like the top of a heart.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's the only reason why I could be like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's not, because I remember.
Seen both.
Yes.
And if you are an avid Pokemon fan
I probably
and have
probably
cards
paid
and
a little
stuff,
bit more attention to
you
Pokemon
know.
than the average guy. Yeah.
You know. This one is the Fruit of the Loom. Lots of people recall Fruit of the Loom logo having a cornucopia behind the fruit. However, officially it never did, just the fruit. Supposedly.
You literally could you could have put the two pictures side by side of each other, and you would have to be like, hey, pick the right, the game Pick the Logo or whatever. If you had the one with the cornucopia and one without.
100% of the time.
And yes, if you had $1 million on the line, I'm picking the one with the cornucopia, because I swore. Could have sworn.
Why would my mind, it's kind of like that. Why would I just imagine it had a cornucopia?
I didn't even know what a cornucopia. And I swear, I remember, and this is probably just me in my own head. I swear I remember asking Mom at one point when we got something that was Fruit of the Loom, what is that?
Yeah.
And she said cornucopia because I never heard that.
Yeah.
That was not a common word.
And here's the
thing,
thing,
it was not
too.
a common thing to see.
It's only, you only see it either
Thanksgiving.
at Thanksgiving or on your socks, because I could have sworn, right? Because I remember in my head when I think of the Fruit of the Loom thing,
I think of the cornucopia.
I think of the text on the bottom, Fruit of the Loom. I see berries and fruits and stuff, and I see the cornucopia in
Which
bowl.
I've always assumed like it was just a rebrand, like to modernize it, they got rid of the cornucopia. That was
Which
always
makes
my
sense.
assumption, which does make sense. But the company Fruit of the Loom literally has said we've never had a cornucopia at all. And maybe a company bought them out, and maybe the new company has never had the cornucopia because they bought them once it had already been changed, so they can make that lie.
It makes
But
me
why
mad that
are
they
we
would even do that.
gaslighting
Yeah.
people? Why are we lying to people about the cornucopia? This does make me mad.
It's not like seriously. It had one.
It had a
Swear.
cornucopia.
Like this is the one Mandela Effect like thing
had
that
it.
I could
Yeah.
have sworn, dude.
That's not something that they didn't have. I tell you that.
No, I've had Fruit of the Loom, dude.
We should all go riot
I
right
was
now
at
at the Capitol.
I go to
Let's
go
go to the
school
company.
shopping. I'm going for some socks and some undies. You best believe I'm grabbing the Loom, dude.
baby.
You know, and it had that freaking cornucopia. So I don't believe, because I don't even know what other logo I'd be mistaking.
You
it for.
can't.
That's
There's
the only
nothing
other
else with a
thing.
cornucopia.
Right? If I was misremembering it as another logo that was similar, but I
Yeah.
can't think of any other logo.
Nope.
And like I don't know when I'd see it in drawing form other than like near Thanksgiving.
No. Yeah.
And that's not even the same thing. You don't even put fruits in a cornucopia in Thanksgiving. You put like gourds. You know?
Pumpkins.
Yeah, like what are we doing? You put like maybe a pine cone or something in there. Sucker. You know, there's no fruit involved.
Oh,
So I
boy.
don't know. God, that one ticks me.
Yeah,
dude.
that's the. I think
Doesn't make
that's
no
like
sense.
the biggest one that everyone argues about. Like that is the biggest from all the ones because I heard that one.
I'm glad we're all in agreement because this could have been a long episode.
yeah.
If somebody said that, no, I don't think it had one.
There's been a fight on the episode.
Dude, I can't, like, because seriously, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Did they call like in the first Hunger Games? Wasn't the weapons and supplies and stuff in a cornucopia or something?
Maybe.
I feel like I remember reading about it in the Hunger Games
remember.
too. But
You know, because they put everything out in the middle or whatever.
Yeah.
There's possibility.
Maybe.
The next one is Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. In Disney's Snow White, the queen actually says magic mirror on the wall, but countless people remembered it as Mirror, Mirror on the Wall.
that feels kind of like a Luke, I'm your father.
Yeah,
thing.
it is. And some of it, too, is just that after that, they've remade movies and redone stuff with it. And I'm pretty sure people now use Mirror, Mirror on the Wall.
Yeah, but the
instead
original
of-
maybe
yeah,
was Magic
yeah.
Mirror on the Wall.
Well, the thing is, too, I think it sounds more, because especially when I think like an old Disney film, I think of like musical type thing, and it sounds like that
Yeah,
would be
mirror,
like
mirrors.
yes, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Sounds like a verse.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
rhymes.
Yeah.
You know, I think magic mirror, it doesn't flow as well.
Yeah.
So I think maybe
That's why
why.
it got changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's other Snow White movies, and there's like movies where people are just like use the phrase "mirror, mirror on the wall," you know, because I think it just sounds
Yeah.
better on the tongue.
And it's, you know, because everything like that, Disney is a very like old movies are very rhythmic. They have a
Yeah.
lot of songs, they've got a lot of dances and stuff like that. So I think it kind of just makes sense that if you're gonna do a song or a musical or something like that, I'm sure multiple musicals will probably use "Mirror, Mirror on
Yeah.
the Wall" just because it flows better.
Yeah, I agree. This one also gets me. This one bothers me a lot. So Febreze, the air freshener, it's only spelled with one E, Febreze. But many remember it as Febreze with two E's, and that is how I remember it.
Say it one more time. How did people think it's spelled?
People thought
Two
it was
E's,
spelled
like you-
Febreze.
Like you would normally spell
Yeah.
breeze.
But apparently it's only spelled with one E, so Febreze.
That's
I'm no expert on Febreze, so I guess I can see the one E.
Yeah.
I don't that one I don't have a strong opinion on.
but that's how I would have spelt it though.
With
yeah,
two
If
E's.
I had-
just spelt it.
Yeah.
2 E's.
If I was just writing it down, I would just assume two E's.
It's just weird, like why in our minds do we
Because that's the word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just they just spelt it wrong when they were doing it. It's like Google. They just spelt it wrong the first time, and now everybody's like. But like Wyatt said, I've never looked at a Febreze can
enough.
hard enough to be
Yeah.
like. Okay.
I remember seeing it with 2 E's.
No.
But that's just one of the. It's a one letter. It's just crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's just a one letter like mix up.
They could slip it in or not have it in. I don't think that I'd be like. Now, if it had no E's in it, I'd be like, okay. Now we have a.
Yeah.
Now we've got an issue. You know,
Yeah.
they start taking away too many.
Yeah,
but,
just FBRZ.
But yeah, I think that I could see that they just kind of were like, hey, we're gonna shorten it, make it look a little nicer on the, fit it into the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
What about Kit Kat? How do you picture Kit Kat?
KITKAT.
Yeah.
A lot of people remember it having a dash between. Kit Kat with a dash,
I don't remember a dash.
like a hyphen or whatever.
I don't think I remember a dash.
But it is just the KITKAT.
Yeah.
Like it's just one. I remember seeing with a dash. But I'm also very prone to just whenever someone says, "Oh yeah, that's exactly how I remember."
I think
that.
grammatically it just kind of it makes more sense. So I think a lot of these, whenever it's like spellings like that, I think it's just how people. I think it's just the difference between how you would write it down versus how it's actually written.
Yeah.
So I think that like something like that, like if we had a grocery list on it and you had me put down, I could totally see where I put down Febreze, 2 E's,
Yeah.
Kit Kat, dash cat,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like all that.
Like
just because
proper
it's-
versus not.
Yeah, just because like that's how my, if I'm writing it down, but. And then when we get to the actual store and I look at it, if I really decided I'm gonna stare at the Febreze can today while if I'm bored in the aisle, and I start picking stuff up, then maybe I will be like, well, that's weird.
Yeah, that's
Huh.
kind of
Yeah.
odd.
A
But-
lot of these, like most of these, are spelling. The next one is Looney Tunes, which a lot of people believe or remember it being spelled tunes, like a cartoon. So Looney
TOONS. Yeah, that.
but it is Looney Tunes, like the song, like TUNES.
See,
Yep.
and I don't,
I remember it being spelled TOONS.
Yep.
And
But it's not,
yeah, because I think that looks like
because it looks right with Looney having 2 O's and
Yeah.
then Tunes having 2 O's, like just
cartoons.
yes, but no.
Yeah, that's weird. Because I think that
Yeah, I'm gonna say two O's. I don't know.
she doesn't believe it.
And Riley brought one up to me because this isn't in the list, but
Yeah.
he says he remembers Fruit Loops being FROOT loops, LOOPS.
Yeah.
Fruit Loops. But it's spelled like real fruit.
Yeah, I've seen that before where people are saying, which that one I'm less.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
less
could-
apt to believe.
Yeah, but the Looney Tunes, I think that if it's not
Like I could
tunes
see
like
it
that.
be a rebrand or something. Like I could see the old
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
the
That-
old OG, like having the 2 O's.
our best case scenario is just a missed opportunity. That they were
Yeah.
like, just
Yeah.
for whatever reason, we're not going to do this because yeah, I think that it would just make sense for everybody. Like, yeah, cartoons are.
Yeah. TOONS.
Yes. And it's the Looney Tunes, right? Like, it's Looney.
Yeah.
We're crazy. And
Yeah.
we're, and it's cartoon.
Like why are we not?
Yeah.
why are we not
why are
doing
we,
that?
like, tunes? Yeah. I think, and even then at the end, whenever, I think they've got so many circles and they circled the actual
Yes.
logo at the end.
Yeah.
It would just make sense. to have those.
And that's all, folks.
Yeah, and then the guy he pops out of like an O at one point on a couple of them. Yeah, so it just would make more sense.
For it to be the 2 O's.
Yes.
I agree.
So if they didn't do that, then they just missed opportunity.
Yeah. This one I do not get on board with because I never remember this, but some people that watch Curious George, they have strong feelings about him. They believe he had a tail at one point. He does not have a tail. But a lot of people argue about the Curious George having a tail. Hardcore. Like, they ain't messing around about it.
I don't, because here's the deal.
I
didn't
never
wa-
remember him having a tail
Yeah,
ever.
I
I
don't
don't.
either.
I don't remember the tail.
Because if I did, I think that it would make sense in my brain that he would kind of like swing around with it and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
he's always like
Yeah.
crawling around.
Yeah.
and I think because it's kind of more of like they're trying to humanize it, I guess, in a way.
I think
like, if
they
you're
try
like
to
a
humanize
kid.
him a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't think it makes sense. I don't remember ever watching the show or anything as a kid and seeing him swing around from his tail. I mean, maybe he swung around with his arms at some point, but I don't remember him hanging by his tail.
I'm seeing the books and stuff. I've never seen I don't remember ever seeing him with the tail. But that one is that people have strong feelings about.
I think that's just one of those things to where they're so familiar with other cartoons.
Yeah,
having a tail.
And that you kind of just misremember that. So I could get on board with that.
Yeah. This is another Star Wars one. I've seen Star Wars, but there's too much going on for me to pay enough attention to remember things. But apparently C-3PO's leg, in the first trilogy or whatever, he had one silver leg.
Yep.
But people remember him being completely gold.
No, he had I remember him having a silver leg.
What are you talking? We're talking episode 4 to 6.
Probably.
Young Luke.
I would
Luke
think
Skywalker?
so. Yes.
young Anakin.
Anakin.
Okay,
I think
Anakin.
the first trilogy.
Yeah, because he parted
first trilogy.
he parted them together.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like ragtag in the first.
I remember in the first, but then later on, I believe he got a red arm, and maybe that's where kind of the.
I don't know.
Do you remember him getting a red arm or something like that? Am I tripping?
You might be tripping. I don't remember.
I thought he had a red arm at some point. Maybe maybe
that
it's
might be a Mandela effect.
Maybe it was another one of the humanoid droids that had one, but
Maybe.
I thought
But
maybe
I do remember the
silver
young
leg.
Anakin like parting them together with what he could come up with, and he had a silver leg.
Yeah. If it was at the beginning when he's like, if it's then I could see that. But if it's in the middle of the series where it's Luke and all them, I'm pretty sure he was solid gold.
Yeah,
he
and
was
that
solid
could be
gold.
people are just misremembering like
Yeah.
the old versus the newer one.
That's probably, yeah.
This one is Queen's song, We Are the Champions. A lot of people remember the song ending with Of the World, but
I thought it did.
in the recorded version, it does not.
What does it say?
It just fades out.
Well,
We are the champions. But people argue, okay, the recorded version doesn't, but their live performances, I think they would end it with Of the World.
Wait, so but in the actual song though, it does say at some point does it say Of the World?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
At some point it does, just not the very end.
Yeah.
But people say, and whether it was the actual, like whether it was Frank or whatever, that's his name, right? Mercury? Fred, sorry. Whether it was Fred singing that at the end or if it was just all of the audience members, like
Maybe.
people, and then once they started doing that, they probably for their live performances just added that to the end.
And here's the thing too: if you were around whenever that was like on the actual radio, a lot of the times like radio edits will cut.
Yeah.
And whenever it's the end of a
too
song,
long.
because they don't fade out into nothing most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Most of the time they're moving on to either the
Cuts
next
to the
song
next
or like
commercial break,
he's
whatever.
talking or
Yeah.
Normally they do a pretty solid, and then they'll have it playing in the background while they fade into the next one or whatever, or fade into while they're talking and stuff.
This one is Jiffy Peanut Butter. Some people remember a peanut butter brand called Jiffy, but in all reality, it's only ever been Jif.
Maybe.
But there's a lot of Jiffy like things,
Jiffy
like
Trip and
Jiffy.
I could have swore it was
lube or
Jiffy peanut butter though.
Yeah.
Like if someone asked me, I'd have said
What is
Jiffy.
the cornbread mix? Jiffy. Is there a Jiffy cornbread?
I think so.
I don't know. About
Like there's a lot of things that are called Jiffy, so I
So
could see
just
people
blend it
just
over.
messing up.
The other thing too is there is a peanut butter brand called Skippy.
Oh, that's true.
So maybe people are kind of in their mind. They're like
Jiffy,
Jiffy, Skippy,
Yeah,
mixing those two up.
yeah, that's true.
The only reason why I would be like, okay, it's not Jiffy, is just because I know like the argument of how do you pronounce GIF or Jif.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I think of as people like, no, Jif's the peanut butter, GIF is the
like the image or whatever. Yeah.
Yes. So that's, but I could totally see where if you had like Skippy peanut butter, then like, yeah, there's like Jiffy Trip.
Yeah, Jiffy Trip and
So other things that we, and it's a pretty hard, it's a pretty hard end, just Jif.
Yeah.
Feels
Jif,
a little.
peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it is cut short.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. There's a few more that I have. Life is like a box of chocolates. People say in Forrest Gump.
Yep.
It's actually life was like a box of chocolates.
I could see.
It's literally just
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
word.
It's just
that's
it's
just a
past
mix-up
tense
It is.
versus
thing.
present
Yeah.
tense
Yeah.
of.
And that makes sense because at the end, he's like looking back over his life at the end of when he says that scene.
Yeah. And then I could see whenever somebody's just saying it as a quote towards somebody, just like, hey, life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get,
Yeah.
So I could see where that's
Yeah.
like,
The Statue of Liberty.
oh boy.
Some people recall the Statue of Liberty being on Ellis Island. Today it stands on Liberty Island. People who have been there in person claim they visited Ellis Island and saw the statue, despite records showing it never stood there.
No opinion.
Which Ellis Island is where all of
That's where people get in to
Yes,
get
they
their
come in.
paperwork and
Yes.
stuff.
And I think that you can see Liberty Island from Ellis Island.
So
So you
probably
can
just,
see the Statue of Liberty. It's just not on that island because
And-
they're very close together.
And I think that maybe it's also just maybe a misconception of
Like immigration.
Because the Statue of Liberty is considered like that's the first thing that you see whenever you're coming to Ellis Island.
Mm-hmm.
The representative of freedom and liberty,
Yeah.
right? And so maybe it's super because they, you come and you see that first. Maybe
Yeah.
it's like
In your mind, you're just like, it was right there. Like,
yes,
yeah.
you're at Ellis Island, but you're technically just
Yeah.
on your
So
way.
that's one that I think is just kind of. But some people argue, like, no, the
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty was on Ellis Island. I was an immigrant. It was right there on the island. And people are like, no, it's on Liberty. But
And here's the other thing, too, about, like, immigrants. If you're coming to America, mind you, already immigration's probably a pretty stressful process.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, I can't imagine that I'm sure there were plenty of people that were very proficient in English, but I'm sure there's some people that they were still working on or didn't know any English at all coming through
So
Ellis
they don't know
Island.
where-
That was, yeah, and it kind of could have been,
A miscommunication.
yes.
Mm-hmm. this, I have two left, and then we can get into the theories. But the Silence of the Lambs greeting. You'll
boy.
probably know this, Wyatt. Is her name Clarice
Claire, I
or
thought.
Claire? It
But it
says
could be Clarice. It's
everyone
been a while.
knows Hannibal Lecter's chilling line, "Hello, Clarice," except he never says it. The actual line is "Good morning." Yet, "Hello, Clarice" is the version burned into pop culture. So people think that he says "Hello, Clarice," but he
Yeah, I
actually
don't
says "Good
remember.
morning."
I don't remember him ever saying that. And
Does he
Clarice is probably right. It's been a while since I've seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I remember the good morning.
Yeah.
Is it Good Morning Clarice, or is it
Mm-mm.
just
Just
Good
Good
Morning?
Morning.
Yeah, I think it was just
Which
Good
is
Morning.
really weird that someone would people, and I guess a lot of people say that phrase.
Mhm.
But like
That's weird.
it's never said. That's weird. To
And
me.
I feel like it is related to the same thing with like Luke, I am your father, to where like the context matters. Like you need to
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
be able to like.
Yeah, good morning is it'd be
Very-
hard for
yeah.
people to pull
Good
that
morning.
that you're
It's
making
just
a
so
little
weird
Silence
Hey,
of
man,
the
for
what's
them
Lambs.
up?
to be so different though, because like at least
Yeah.
with Luke, "I am your father,"
But
it's
I
just
would-
a word that's changed. This is like a completely different phrase.
Yes, like I could see it if it was like "Good morning, Clarice," and that was
Yeah.
like what people said instead. But it being a whole different word is kind of
Yeah, weird.
is
Those
odd.
I'm almost more apt to believe that they could be a Mandela effect, just because it is completely different and so many people believe that
Yeah.
versus the
I was worried when you said Silence
the
of the
lotion or
Lambs,
something.
you're gonna pull up like put the lotion in the basket or something. I was gonna be like, hey, that's what he said.
that was it.
I know I'll die. I'll die on that hill. I know
I've
for a
quoted
fact.
that so many times.
Yeah.
God.
The last one is Skechers.
Oh boy.
Many people believe that there is a T in Skechers, however, there is not, and there
It's
never
just
has been.
CHERS.
Yeah, I think
isn't
that's
it?
good. I
Yeah.
think that's just
That's
like,
just a misremembering
Yeah.
because in my mind I would spell it with a T. That's
Yeah.
how I would spell it. But I know when I've seen Skechers, they don't ever have.
if
the
you're
T
just
there.
if you're spelling it based off of like if you're sounding it out,
Yeah.
you think there's a T. But I could. Yeah, I think Skechers. I don't remember seeing a. I think that's just like because if you're sketching,
Yeah.
you've got a T. But
So before we get into the theories, what do you, if you had to pick, what do you think that it is? Do you think it's mostly just misrememberings, or do you think it is alternate universe timeline?
I'd say the cornucopia is just flat out lying from the
From the
corporate.
company.
From
Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom. They're
We're
like, that was
coming
a
for you.
mistake, and we're never bringing it back. Deny, deny, deny.
Deny.
I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
I think it'd be like sick if it's like, hey, we're transversing like
Yeah.
the different dimensions of the world. I think more than likely though, it's just that
Misremembering.
humans are unreliable, narrators.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that if you had something that's close enough, because the human brain kind of just fills stuff in
Yep.
for you.
Blanks.
It's a pattern finding brain, you know.
Yep.
So
We're not going for specifics. We're just going for whatever we need to, operate.
To do to keep
and-
going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. So I could totally see where it's just us.
Yeah, misremembering things. So the first theory is the parallel universe one, which is one of the most fun. It's probably the most famous explanation. The idea is that the Mandela Effect happens because we've slipped into a slightly different timeline or two realities have merged, which would compensate for the fact that half of people remember one thing, half of people remember another thing. But in one timeline, for example, it was the Bernstein Bears, and another, it was the Bernstein Bears. When the timelines cross, memories clash.
Yeah.
So that's the explanation of people remembering two different things, is that they combine.
And it would be fun, but I also feel like that even if the differences were not very vast and different, I feel like that the actual consequences of having two full different realities merging into one
Would
would
mess a lot of
would
stuff
probably
up
be greater
than just the Bernstein Bears.
Yes. Than just like, hey,
Yeah, I
remember
feel
that
like
one
there'd be
kid's
some
book?
large- yeah.
Yeah, I think there'd
Like
be a couple more
history, I
telltale
think there would be
signs.
lots of history discrepancy, a lot of
Oh,
things.
no doubt about some
yeah.
history discrepancies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be a little bit more apparent that there's some stuff going
Yeah.
down.
How is Charmenstein spelled? Is it not spelled Stain? Like the Charmenstein Bears or whatever for toilet paper?
Oh, you mean Charmin?
Yeah.
Charmin. It's CHARMAN,
yeah.
I think.
Like charm almost.
They
Yeah,
didn't have a steen at the
Charmin.
end of them?
Oh my god.
Charmenstein?
We started a new
No.
one. No, you're mixing up the charm. Yeah, that's why I didn't know you. I
It's
think,
Charmin Ultra Strong.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
ultra soft.
Charmin
or-
Ultra Strong or
yeah.
Ultra Soft or something is probably what you're trying to. Charmenstein.
The Charmin
That's my
Steins.
favorite toilet paper.
I think you might just be mixing up the Bernsteins.
They
and
are
the-
bears, though.
Yeah,
You're right.
I think that's why. Also, I don't know what
Miss
is
those
the
commercials.
lore. Is the blue ones and the red ones, are they different families or like different entities, or are they?
The bear family?
Well, because they have like
Yeah,
because
they've got green too, though.
because on the red, so they'll have commercials where it's like the red family of bears, and they're promoting the ultra strong stuff.
It's probably a warring groups.
You think so? Is it
Yeah.
factions?
Yeah.
Is
That's
there
our next episode.
Is there a
Stay
Charmin
tuned.
race war? Are they going at each other? Man, no, I don't. But like, I don't know if it's like because when you watch the ad, they have like the same characters, kind of, but they're like blue if it's an ultra soft.
Yeah,
ad.
like depending on the certain toilet paper.
So is it a different family, or is
bet.
it a
It could be.
whole, or do they just change shades depending on what brand or what type they bought this week for the bathroom?
It could be different families.
Also, that's
Cousins.
what a weird concept for an ad, too.
The-
I mean, I
the
kind of get it,
bears.
but
Yeah. I do. I just miss the old ads, though. I mean, do I hate commercials? Yes. But whenever commercials used to actually be a real thing,
yeah,
I mean,
we were more
It's-
creative. I
we
think.
were.
and because you had to watch them.
Yeah,
you
it wasn't a
kinda, like,
choice.
yeah, so it's kind of one of those things where, but now it's like if you're just too poor to buy the ad-free version,
Yeah.
you have to watch it.
Yeah.
You know,
You
but
know you're
could.
poor whenever you have to have all the ads.
So it's kind of like, well, you know, they'll buy it anyways. Who
They had
cares?
an ad that had both a red and blue bear on it, showing off the different products. So I would say they're warring
You
factions.
think so?
Yeah.
Because
No, buy the
wondering, is
blue.
it, yeah,
buy
is
the
it,
blue.
is it like the two different? And then also, what do you guys buy? I'm an ultra soft guy,
Whatever we get from Sam's, I have
Yeah.
no clue.
or whatever the equivalent. Like, because I know they have actually. No, I don't.
You like soft over strong, though.
I do.
Yeah.
You're a little more fragile.
Yeah, I gotta have a little bit more quaint toilet paper on my bottom. You get a little too much power.
Strength.
Yeah, a
We
little
don't
too
need all
much,
that strength.
too much might.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh God.
The next
What are we
theory-
talking about?
Yeah. The next theory is the experiments theory. So CRN, it's supposed to mean the particle collider theory.
yeah.
So one of the most popular and unsettling ideas is that the Mandela Effect isn't just a trick of memory, but the result of real scientific experiments that tampered with reality. CERN and the Large Hadron Collider. When CERN first fired up the LHC in 2008, conspiracy theorists began speculating. The collider smashes particles together at near light speed, searching for exotic matter in hidden dimensions. Some believe these experiments may have ripped small holes in the space-time,
Continuum.
merging parallel realities together.
Possibly. I think they can make gold in a particle collider.
Are you serious?
Can they?
Yeah, I think so.
I know they can make gold. I
Very
think that
small, like it's insanely small quantities, but
I think I watched a video on
so they finally figured out alchemy.
on how to switch. I think it was lead or something into gold.
Yeah.
But like it's way more energy and effort than just
just
buying
having-
some gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably very expensive.
But
a
it's
lot more
still like
expensive than
cool
having
that
gold.
we pretty much fixed we
Yeah.
made alchemy a thing. We were able to do it. I think that if it was that drastic, I think that even if we didn't know about it, somebody would have at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Like it would have been like, and I think that it would have been worse, and they may not have continued, but maybe they would have just to see what
Maybe.
happened.
I mean, I think they've made like miniature black holes that existed for like milliseconds or something. I think in colliders.
Could have
Yeah.
affected. This says the Higgs boson discovery, so this is still going with that. They discovered the God particle, is what it was called, in 2012. The same year, many reported the Mandela effects began ramping up. Some connect this to the supposed end of the world Mayan calendar predictions, theorizing it shifted us into a new timeline rather than the world ending.
They saved us.
Apparently so.
Maybe they're like, well, we got to get this figured out.
They probably shouldn't have. Quantum experiments, which researchers have long tested the concept of quantum entanglement, where particles communicate instantly across distances.
That's always so weird to me.
Mm-hmm. If the universe is interconnected at that level, even small tweaks could ripple out, rewriting tiny details of reality.
Well, because it has to be, right? If we
Yeah,
can
you would
flip a
think.
particle here and then instantaneously,
Right,
no matter the
it
distance, it
flicks along.
flips. Everything has to be kind of connected,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what.
So one small shift shifts one small thing.
Yeah, and it could have been.
Yeah, the butterfly effect.
Oh yeah, which not related, but like I just thought it was cool too. Because I've seen a lot of memes lately of the where if you shoot like light particles at a two slits of a wall and then see what
Oh yeah,
how it
it's
hits
four.
behind it, and it'll either be, and depending on if it was observed or not, changes how the particles
Appear.
how they functioned.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, because if you observe it in an incapacity, then it will operate as if it's like this is me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's where it'll sit there and like shoot out like it's it's the actual particles that are hitting it individually, like paintballs.
So it depends on how you're paying attention.
Well,
Is
no,
that
it
what you're
depends
saying?
on if you're paying attention at
Yeah.
all.
That's
Oh.
what. Yeah, quantum. One of the things about quantum is like if it's being observed, it reacts differently. than-
Yes, which is weird, right? Because that's how video games work. So if you're looking at something in a video game, it is being rendered and it is processing, right? But when you're not looking at it, it is. I mean, it's still kind of it doesn't
There,
really load up entirely
Yeah.
what you're looking at.
It's kind of like Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Or
Hard
not
to-
not is it not Schrodinger's, not Pandora's. Schrodinger's box, where it's like either the cat is alive or dead, but since you haven't opened the box
He's
to
both.
see, he's both. He's
Yes.
dead and he's alive.
Yeah, like a light particle will operate both as a particle or as a wave, depending on if you're looking at it. So that means it kind of operates the same if you haven't.
Yeah,
seen
that
the-
hurts my brain.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I love physics. It's so cool.
Yeah. It's
God.
weird. So the experiments, we talked about this one in the last one, but the Philadelphia experiment, they say that was them messing with stuff. And then the Montauk Project, I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
I feel like it sounds familiar.
It said it was from the 70s to the 80s, and it's said to involve time travel, mind control, and alternate realities. If such experiments meddled with space and time, it could explain why memories no longer line up with the history.
I think I hold the most boring theory.
Yeah.
which I'm sure
Still,
we'll get into.
the next one is the misremembering or false memories. So psychologists explain that it's confabulation, which is where our brains fill in the missing information. Example is the Looney Tunes doesn't make sense because cartoons are spelled with two O's. That's why our brains correct it.
Yeah.
The problem is false memories vary person to person. So with the Mandela Effect, since thousands of people remember the exact same detail, is what makes it so strange.
Yeah. Well, but then at the same time, I think
Part of it is it's a really easy thing to,
yes.
at least for that. The cornucopia still.
That's
I don't
this
know.
next one.
And
is
here's
the
the thing.
corporate rebranding and quiet changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's our next theory.
I think that could be the case for some of them. I think that but for the most part, I think that the differences of what is actually true versus what people believe to be true are close enough to where I can totally see it's, even if it's like, oh, it's weird that it's multiple people. I don't think our brains operate that differently from person to person. I think that's one of those things where you could easily explain away, like, yeah, everybody just kind of filled in that information with the assumed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you hear it from someone else, like you're more apt to just think that.
You just
Yeah.
go with it.
Yeah.
So with the corporate rebranding, what if
Could
companies
we get this
did
right
change
here?
their logos, spellings, or designs quietly and then they denied it? When ownership changes or companies get sold, brands often are tweaked. If the company insists it's always this way, it makes people question their memories. But since companies own their trademarks, they can control the official record.
Yeah.
Any old versions could easily disappear in updated archives. Or, like, if they bought another company, they can lie because,
Yeah.
no, our brand has never been that
Yeah.
because it's never been that since they've owned it.
Yeah.
Fruit of the Loom, they could have once had a cornucopia and dropped it. Febreze could have had two E's, and the company streamlined the name during a relaunch, like just changed it. And Skechers, they could have removed the T as a branding decision, just rewriting their own history.
And because it would be which hilarious that a company would just decide to lie entirely. It's also just absurd because, like, does it matter that much? Like, it is the
Yeah.
effort we're putting in
Yes,
to, like,
to cover it up
Yeah.
To
instead
just be
of
like,
just tell the truth.
yes, of just like, we changed our logo. Here's the new one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and it's just
Yeah.
weird.
It's kind of like the Cracker Barrel thing where they just changed it and got rid of like Uncle Herschel on the
Yeah.
Yeah.
the main logo, and then all of this. A bunch of people were upset about it,
And
stuff,
they just flipped
and,
it back.
Yeah, and stuff like that. It could be, 10 years, 15, 20 years down the road, people might be like, I remember a Cracker Barrel without Uncle
Yeah.
Herschel
Yeah.
on the logo.
And then they're like, no, we never did that.
we didn't
Yeah,
do that.
We didn't do
because
that.
They don't want.
Because it was such a bad decision
Yeah.
that they're just
There's
like.
so much.
But that's one of those things where it's like, was it a bad, like, because I could have sworn it was their logo for years.
Yeah.
Was it such a bad decision that you kept it for literal years and people associate your brand with that? It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. So I
The
think
difference between now is because of social media and stuff, people can't get away with the
Yeah, it's
rebrands
harder.
and stuff like they did. So, like, maybe things that are old, they can get away with their history and stuff. Now, we all have,
Yeah.
like,
Once it's
we
on the
know that
internet,
Cracker
it's forever.
Barrel,
Yeah.
yeah. We know that Cracker Barrel messed up, type of thing.
So it's one of those things, too, where but it would be so fun. Like, from a perspective of just trolling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be so funny
Yeah,
to just
just
be like, we're going to deny any
Any-
time
Yeah.
they think that we changed the logo just for fun.
Yep.
Well, because that's probably honestly a good branding technique because we're sitting here talking about Fruit of the Loom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and it's fun because it's like, just say that we did, just
Yeah.
lie. It's not illegal to just be like, yeah, no,
Yeah, we didn't have a cornucopia
Actually,
on there.
no.
yeah, no.
And then everybody hears that and we
It's
think
your
about it all the
trademark,
time.
who
So what are
cares?
we going to do whenever we go to pick
Any
out our socks?
publicity is good publicity.
Exactly.
Except for me, I will never buy another Fruit of the Loom product.
I'm done with you, Fruit of the Loom. Simulation. People believe that we could be in a simulation.
Yeah.
You know, things
Yeah.
get
Well,
rewritten.
that's just a fact.
It's like a video game. Whatever.
Believe.
Think of it like a video game where details get rewritten, but not everyone updates to the new version or whatever. And then government or corporate cover-ups. What if there's a darker theory? What if some events, products, or even disasters were rewritten intentionally? For example, people discuss the JFK assassination, about his vehicle, things like that, which there's a lot of things explained.
Yeah.
There is a Tank Man footage. I did not look into this, but apparently some people recall a Tank Man dying on camera. Government.
Is it the North Korean thing?
I think maybe.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about where they
Governments
ran
could have
over
scrubbed
like
their
Tiananmen
altered
Square?
broadcasts.
Is that what we're
Yeah,
talking
Tiananmen
about?
Square.
Yeah, Tiananmen Square. That was China.
Maybe.
Oh,
like
was that
where-
China?
It was China. It was like where there was.
He was carrying his groceries and
he stood in front of a tank in protest, and they just ran him over. So,
Yeah.
and it is still illegal to this day to mention Tiananmen Square or post any footage in China, and it will
they
be
deleted-
immediately removed because it's still illegal.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
real.
that's what it is. People
was a
remember
real
him
thing.
being run over and killed by tanks.
Tiananmen Square, Tiananmen Square, Tiananmen
Square.
Square.
They killed him. Yeah,
It
was
says,
he
in
was
reality,
like-
the
I think he was
footage
in a
just
white
shows
shirt
him
and-
blocking the tanks never being crushed, is
Yeah.
what people say.
Well,
That's what
nah.
the
Yeah.
Chinese government says. I'm
That's
sure.
what
Yeah.
they want you to think.
But no, yeah. Which the thing is though is I have never actually seen the official footage of. I've seen the picture, but I've never actually seen the footage from Tiananmen
And I
Square.
think that's what that's what the argument
Yeah.
is like
And that's
people
probably
recall
on
seeing
purpose.
him.
Yeah.
People recall seeing him dying on camera.
Yeah. It would be weird that it's such a prolific and brought up to this point and such a like such a big deal in China too, to where you can't mention it if like he just got like moved over or they just stopped and didn't actually run him over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be weird. I've heard people are talking about even recently where this and this is just like all hearsay, but I think I saw on social media where recently people are saying that the state of Florida still has not come out with all of the numbers and all the people that were affected in Hurricane Katrina.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that some people are saying something like that. I don't know enough about it to like be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I know for sure, but like that's some rumblings I've heard lately. What else? What's the other?
People just kind of things just kind of like that. It's interesting. It's kind of like kind of reminds me of when was it Orville that wrote War of Worlds? And he was like they broadcasted like the first few pages or something on a local radio station and like freaked out
yes,
a bunch
and
of people.
thought it was real. Yeah. Yeah, people like tuned in the middle of a because back in the day when radio was like the big thing, they'd have like those shows or whatever, like like a radio talk show.
And they were promoting his book.
Yes, and they read from World of the Wars, and it was like people thought it was a news broadcast of like we're being invaded
by aliens.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and like freaked out a small town or something.
Oh, dude, it freaked out people all over the country. I think.
Was it all over the country?
Or something like that. People would call in all their local police stations and stuff like that, hogging up the lines because they thought it was real.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I think later they had to like post an apology or something like that.
Yeah. Like,
Didn't mean to freak
'Cause
everybody
people would
out.
just tune in and it'd be
At the
like
wrong they didn't
the
have any
ships are hitting
context.
Detroit or something like that.
Because
Oh, that's
Yes.
terrible.
And you
Yeah.
gotta imagine
So no context at all. They're just
Exactly.
like,
Well,
everyone is dying.
at the beginning they said, we're
yeah,
reading
but if you weren't there at
excerpt.
the beginning,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because let's say you tune on to the TV, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see like a news broadcast that looks legitimate, says it's CNN, and it's like, hey, this is like, I'm sure it's happened multiple
Yeah,
times.
I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah.
But it turns out to be like a movie that they just wanted to be realistic or
Mm-hmm.
something. Or even if you get like a notification on your phone. Like there was that one time in Hawaii where they're like, nuclear ballistic
Yeah.
missiles are heading towards the
Yeah,
island. This
that
is
was
not a drill.
That was a big scare too.
Yes, you have 15 minutes.
Was someone hacking or?
It was some. They accidentally put out the wrong message. So I
Yeah.
guess literally the button to click the test message
Yeah.
and the button to click the this is
Right
not a
next to
drill.
each
This is real
other.
is right here. And somebody accidentally hit.
Like misinput.
That's terrible.
Yes, misinput.
Yeah, there was-
And I think Jim Carrey was in Hawaii at the time,
Yeah.
and he said that he's literally just stopped, walked on the beach and sat down and thought about his family because everybody at Hawaii thought they were going
Oh
to
my
die.
gosh.
Because you get a message, you get an actual emergency
This is not a
alert.
drill.
This is not a drill.
You are done. You're not
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
off
well,
in
we're cooked.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. It's like, well, I guess I'll go sit here now and think about life.
Wait for my
the next
wait for
15
my
minutes.
Those little slip ups. I heard something. It could have been on a Joe Rogan podcast or something, but it was like that the one of our like nuclear missile like systems that let us know something's incoming or something misread or had an issue or something, and we thought that the Russians had sent one at us.
Yeah.
And the guy that was in charge of approving our missile strikes back
Yeah.
was like, hey,
About to
I've
send
I've got a deal, and he was trying to get a hold of the whichever higher up
And
he was
nobody was
supposed to go
responding.
to and couldn't. And then he ended up talking to somebody else that was like, well, I believe the president or prime minister, or whatever they consider Russia's head at the time, is in the United States right now for a meeting, so it's more than
we're
likely
not-
a false
Yeah.
flag.
Why? And I heard
And you
that
know
he
that's
was,
like minutes away from nuclear war over
something
a
that's
sensor reading
that's not
wrong.
so
or-
scary. Like,
I guarantee there's been multiple times in the entire history of like nuclear warfare we were literally like
seconds
minutes
away,
away
from,
from, like-
probably starting something.
because imagine like how many times that's happened in the other like however many countries
Yeah.
that have nuclear warheads that were like, huh,
Let's go ahead
we're
and
picking
ship
up
this
some
off.
stuff.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah,
terrifying.
and I mean that's kind of it's wild, but that really is the world we live in, where it's like one country could get freaked out, and it's just like, yeah, I guess we're ending the world.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
This is
go-
it.
Go burn it all. Okay. So yeah, especially with countries like like North Korea and stuff like that are just single dictatorship.
Yeah.
Like there
like
there
the
is no
decision
approval.
making is
Yeah.
Yes,
one
it's
person.
One guy.
Yeah.
It's a little freaky. So
Yeah, that's
but I mean, I
terrifying.
say that, but even now, I'm pretty sure I don't know. I think somebody can block.
There's a lot more checks and
I'm
balances
sure.
over
I
here
think-
than other
think
places.
I think that maybe Congress can block a
Football,
nuclear strike or
yeah.
something like that. I can't remember, but I think that it is pretty much like if the president wants to, he can
Yeah.
be like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
Do
go
that.
ahead and just glass a few
Yeah,
people.
I don't think he gets to carry the football around. I think it's like a approved thing.
Yeah.
What I understand.
Yeah, but yeah, no, a little freaky.
And definitely scary.
Yeah, because there's a guy that I used to work with, and we were talking about like fears and stuff like that. He's like, "Oh, Mason, what's your greatest fear?" I was like, "Oh, probably like the dark or like heights or something like that." He's like, "Yeah, I every night I think about how we could all just be nuked." You know,
Dad, come.
it's like, well,
It's like, all right, buddy. I guess I'm gonna
anyways.
get back to my cubicle.
He said, "I'm scared of the dark."
If somebody's on aisle 8, I'm gonna go check them out. You take care, man.
Was he on
Um,
drugs or like was this like
No,
legit?
he was just a little. He was a good guy. He was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a little. That is
That is
his big
terrifying.
concern.
That's very
and
scary.
It's valid.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't say that if I got the news that there was nuclear warheads outside, that I'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
You
What
know?
do you think is worse? Nuclear warfare or the fact that Fruit of the Loom lied
the
about the
cornucopia.
cornucopia?
I'd rather go on a flashlight than
Yeah, I was about to say it
These
depends on how
suckers.
close I am to the nuke. I guess if I'm in the
Hopefully they hit Fruit of the
Yeah.
Loom headquarters because
if I'm within disintegration distance, then I feel like it's Fruit of the Loom's problem.
yeah.
So, are we in agreement that the two that I feel like are the most likely to actually be Mandela Effect are Fruit of the Loom, if they're not lying, and the Bernstein Bears are the two that I feel like I
Probably,
can relate
yeah.
to the most.
But I hope that we're not confusing any of the viewers. 100, like if you had the Bernstein Bears are down here, of my belief, the Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah, it's up there. Fruit of the Loom had a cornucopia.
Like I guarantee it. There's no way. It didn't.
Comment which one you agree with the most could be actually the Mandela
Yeah,
Effect.
because
We want to know.
I feel like that it's, and I think people are gonna agree with me and Juan here.
I
That
think
it is
so.
got it. The Fruit of the Loom had one, and I think
They're
they're
just lying.
Yeah, and it's a good marketing strategy.
It
is.
'cause I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, I guarantee they had a freaking
I do too.
cornucopia. God.
It's like, what's the what Avatar? What would they say? There is no war in
In Bossing Say.
or something
there
like
is
that.
no war in Bossing Say.
There was no cornucopia in Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah.
Any finishing thoughts? I'll close us out.
Divest your Fruit of the Loom stocks today.
Yeah. After
Something
this
is
video
going to
hits.
happen.
Yeah.
If you have Fruit of the Loom,
Drop them now.
burn
Yeah.
it.
Somebody call Warren Buffett. Okay, it's going down.
We've got insider news.
Just kidding. We are not threatening Fruit of the
No,
Loom.
I didn't. Whoa.
Whoa, threats! We're talking about the stock market.
Whoa. Yeah, I just heard that the economy's a little
Easy
rocky,
there.
bro. Wow.
Easy.
Gosh, man. This gal.
There was no threats in there.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about them getting nuked.
I didn't
No,
say
what
anything.
are you talking about?
Brooklyn wants to nuke multiple large corporations.
That's what it sounds like to me.
We'll cut
Okay,
that.
Johnny Silverhand. All right.
As
All right.
always, thank you for joining us in today's episode. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to like and subscribe. We want to hear from you. Leave topic ideas in the comments and email us your scary stories.
Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Email Fruit of the Loom. Tell them bring the cornucopia back.
Yeah, bring it back.
They're a
We'll
group
make
of
a petition.
liars.
Fill
And I
up
don't
their
believe 'em.
inbox.
So, yeah.
And-
But we are not inciting violence
No.
against any sort of.
Totally not.
Until next time, this is Fear and Flame.
See ya.
Bye.
Signing out.